Falling out of love? Keep in mind that if you feel like you're falling out of love, it doesn't mean you don't care about your partner. It means those intense feelings you used to experience aren't quite there anymore. You may feel pangs of guilt about your faded feelings, but that doesn't mean you should stay in a relationship that doesn't bring you joy. Even if you don't want to hurt the person, it's important that you listen to your heart and do what's best for you and your partner. If you're wondering whether or not you're falling out of love with your partner, be on the lookout for these 9 signs. You don't worry about them as much. When you're in love, you can't imagine living without that person, which is why you worry about them constantly, especially if they are late coming home or haven't returned a call in a long period of time. However, when you're over someone, you aren't as emotionally attached, and those things that used to make you wonder and worry don't as much. You're not excited to spend time together. If you were inseparable at the beginning of your relationship, but no longer look forward to spending quality time with your partner, it may be a sign that you're falling out of love. On the other hand, giving each other more space can be healthy, but if you find yourself eagerly making plans with anyone and everyone, but not excited for an upcoming dinner date with your partner, it's time to reconsider your feelings. It's nothing to feel guilty about, but it is an opportunity to reflect on your relationship and yourself to determine whether you're truly falling out of love. Evaluate what could be the driving force behind this change of heart, says Dakin. For example, lack of desire to see a partner could be a sign of a personal insecurity or fear of becoming too attached, she says. You're constantly comparing them to others. This is a sure sign you're falling out of love when you find yourself comparing them to every potential you could have, according to relationship expert Rachel Dielto. You begin to believe that any relationship could be better than the one you're in. You feel unsure about your future with them. If you're unsure if you're falling out of love, ask yourself how you feel about your future as a couple. If you feel unhappy, trapped, or scared at the idea of being with your partner for a long period of time, it's time to have a conversation with them. First, when you sit down to talk to your partner, simply state what you feel and the concerns you're having about what this could mean for your future together. Not looking forward to a future with your partner could be a clear indication of your faded feelings. Physical intimacy is a thing of the past. Being in love with someone means you're attracted to them, which leads to physical intimacy. So if you stop wanting to have sex, it could be a sign you're falling out of love, says Lisa Concepcion, a certified professional life coach and founder of Lovecast Coaching. When we are physically healthy, attracted and in love, we want sex, she explains. However, when we're physically healthy and falling out of love, we stop feeling affectionate. It is more like a friend and the sex falls off. You're longing for someone or something else. If you've been in a long-term relationship with your partner for a long time, it's totally normal for you to develop a crush on someone else, as long as you don't act on it. After all, you're only human, and you can't help but find other people attractive. Your innocent crush can become a problem, though, if it minimizes your desire for your partner. If you find yourself thinking about all the things you could do and people you could meet, if only you weren't in a relationship, it might be a sign you've fallen out of love. Because, when someone falls out of love, they begin to shift their perspective from we, back to me. Firstly, concerned with protecting their own needs, pursuing their own interests, and building up resentment within the relationship, according to Dakin. Constantly fantasizing about being with other people or intensely craving new experiences is a sign that you're no longer fully invested in your partner. You stay with someone for their own well-being. Being in a relationship with someone isn't about doing anyone a favor. It's about loving the other person and wanting to be with them. If you are staying in a relationship with someone because the other person says they need you, they can't live without you, or has expressed some sort of toxic dependence on you, you are in it for the wrong reason and are keeping yourself from a meaningful relationship. You no longer argue. Don't let this sign confuse you. While you might think not arguing is a good thing, it actually can be a bad thing too. When you no longer feel the need to fight for yourself and your opinions in a relationship, and to stand up for a point that you want to come across, it shows you don't care enough to. You're basically just tired and you've given up. They don't feel special to you. Partners who are in love value each other. So if you're more focused on what's missing and flaws justifying a breakup instead of their amazing qualities, Concepcion says, it's a clear falling out of love sign. If you start to think of your boyfriend/girlfriend as just another fish in the sea, rather than your other half or your person, then you're probably falling out of love. Final phase. Deciding to leave a relationship or not is a tough decision. Sometimes it's hard to tell whether you're going through a rough patch or if you're falling out of love entirely. Always remember to trust your gut. Trusting these feelings of intuition often is a way to stay true to yourself. That's all for today. So please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.